Oh. Well, we're on anyway. Do we like to talk shit before we even get live?
We talk so much shit beforehand.
Especially when it's on Manchester. Fuck Manchester, man. Oh, dude. But we've got fucking heaps of football that we've missed last kind of 2 rounds. And
Not missed, more like, they had back-to-back rounds.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we had last Tuesday, Wednesday, then we had, the weekend games. A bit of a quick one. There wasn't a lot of highlights.
There's a lot of lowlights. That's
a lot of lowlights, yeah, which we would definitely bring up.
There was some definite shit games. That's for sure.
It feels like everybody's kind of limping at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's a long season.
It is a long season, but
like constant back-to-back games. For some reason, these managers, doesn't like to rotate their players, and they just keep getting injured.
Yeah,
and they're not even injured from tackles. They're just injured because
just injured from running.
Yeah, they're running, and they're like, my hamstring, and you're like, well, that's your fault
again.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah,
I just don't understand how they keep doing it. It's not even like, all right, if it happens to 1 or 2 players, you'd be like, maybe we should reassess this, but they don't.
You've done your Arsenal rant nice and early. Good.
Dude, fuck Arsenal, man. Can't wait for my Vinny Jr. fucking rant next week.
Ooh, that'll be good.
Yeah, bring back Harry Kane so I can rant on him. Yeah, unless it's like the speculation says and it's to Liverpool, then no.
Depending on how,
then he's cool.
Fuck that. I hope he goes to you guys. That'll be so funny. That'll be so funny. The amount of shit that you've spoken about him, and then he's going to be wearing the red. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
Saying that his daughter should be dead because he's falling in love. It's really hard. It's really hard to come back from that, man. But I'll try. I'll come back.
Try what you want. It's not going to work, bro.
I'll do like a seance to bring his daughter back.
Oh, Jesus, man. No wonder we'd be getting so much rain.
Yeah, damn it. I haven't perfected the bringing back the daughter's life. I can only make it rain.
Where are we starting this week?
Gossip, as per usual, man.
But where are we starting this gossip?
Oh, we're starting in Turkey again, baby.
I love Turkey.
Yeah, we just keep going back to Turkey. That's the best thing.
I can't. Well, it's very now that Jose's there. Super interesting place.
Well, listen, Jose has now been banned for 3 games, and fined $229,500 Turkish dollars, whatever their currency
probably
is.
like $10 then.
Yeah, yeah, it's sort of it's like $1,000.
Yeah,
because look again during the Galatasaray Fenerbahce derby, there's clearly a big one in the kind of Turkish league. Fenerbahce loses 2-1. After the game, it gets super heated between obviously the coach of Galatasaray and Jose Mourinho.
How much was the fine? 295,000.
229,500.
29,500.
Yeah. Go and get,
bro. It's €5,500. Bro, Jose's probably got that in his back pocket.
Yeah. He's like, I dropped it. Here.
Keep the change.
Yeah, have the fine.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
But listen, it boils over after the game, and for some reason, Mourinho comes walking over and grabs the nose of the Galatasaray manager, who then falls to the ground. But hang on,
like he's.
We've got the video of it. So
it's actually quite embarrassing.
It's super embarrassing. But let's just watch it. He just goes down like a sack of shit.
Fuck, I love Jose Mourinho.
It's just
such a funny guy.
It just makes no sense. It makes no sense why you'd want to do that. And two, what's the dive for?
I
mean, it got him suspended, I suppose.
It got him suspended. It was,
It got him suspended for 3 games. So he's suspended now for 3 games.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got his €5,500 fine.
Oh, that's so funny. For grabbing a nose.
For grabbing his nose. I mean, look, I've got so many questions about it. One, who grabs a nose?
Jose does. And I've seen Jose grab eyes, heads, hands.
He goes for the weak points.
He does everything. It would just fuck you up.
Look, at least he's entertaining. He gives us something to talk about.
That's the one thing that nobody could ever deny is that Jose Mourinho is entertaining.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Look, next on the gossip agenda, Xhaka for Bayer Leverkusen.
Former Arsenal midfielder.
Well, I mean, I think you'd more credit him towards his time at Leverkusen.
He's the captain?
Yeah, he's the captain of Leverkusen. He obviously took them to the Europa League final, won the Bundesliga with them last year, beating out Bayern
and the German Cup,
and the German Cup, right? So a successful captain, for
and took them
Leverkusen.
to the Europa League final.
And they hadn't won a trophy in God knows how long.
Lost one game all season last year,
Which was the final.
Which was the final of the Europa League.
The Europa League. So, he's obviously done quite a lot for the club.
Fantastic
However,
season, yeah.
Look, obviously they're not getting the results to win the league like they did last year, this year.
Correct, yeah.
Now, the fans, for some reason, have an issue with it. So they're going at Xhaka in the stands and abusing him, pointing fingers, saying they're not performing well enough, they're not doing this. Now, Xhaka, to his credit, just bites back. And it's just him wagging his finger in their face like this while they're just going
Get
off
your
them.
finger out of my face.
No, you'll experience what Xhaka experienced. Do better. Do better.
I'll bite you, fuck.
You would bite. You look like a biter.
I am a
You're not Suarez, man. You're a stamper, like Diego Costa.
I am a stamper,
That's the Chelsea. That's the Chelsea move. They stamp. We bite.
Yeah, you bite, yeah. Scumbags.
like rats. We'll infect you with whatever we have.
What I don't get, right, is that like they were called Neverkusen, right, because they never won anything. Xabi Alonso took them from being, I think they were close to relegation when he joined them the year before they won the title.
Yeah, correct.
Right? And he took them to 2 trophies and a European final. And then the next year, these fans have the balls to then be like, you're not performing. Dude, fuck you. You didn't win shit for fucking ages.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. They give him a little taste of victory and they go, yeah, just like a heroin addict. They just need it more. my heroin is winning and you've let me experience it. I need it more.
Bro, straight out.
But it's like, who are you to abuse? Who are you to abuse the players?
And
how short is your memory?
And it's not like they're heaps off. They're only 6 points off the top. Now, look, I don't think they're going to win. Okay? But still, you're only 6 points away from Bayern Munich.
It would be pretty funny if they win, though.
That'd be a major collapse.
Oh, dude,
that would be a
that
huge
rant
collapse.
on Harry Kane would be the best.
The next day he's signing for Liverpool.
Yeah. It's all right. I'll get one last rant in before he signs.
Before you start sucking
and then,
him off.
Yeah, and then it'll be there. I'll be like, well, we just signed the greatest striker in the world.
He's coming to break records for Liverpool.
So well, someone else other than, Salah has to do it, man.
That's true. But, I think that the fans have a lot of balls to just start berating these players for what they're doing. After what they've given them.
They've got gall.
They've got bad gall.
Yeah. They've got bad gall and not bladders. But no, look, I mean, obviously you should be supporting, especially your captain of Xhaka, who's led them to everything. But, they're obviously scumbags.
But I understand there's ultras. Like
do.
I've seen when the Inter ultras went after Icardi, but that's because he was a piece of shit, right?
Yeah,
Xhaka has not done anything to these Leverkusen fans to
None of the Leverkusen players
No,
have.
none of the Leverkusen fans.
None of them have. They've just played good football over the last kind of two seasons.
Yeah.
And they're going to go off at them. They're like, hey, how dare you lose to a Bayern that has more funding than you and has better players than your team?
How dare you become
assholes.
second after winning us a double? Like, bro, can
insane.
you all just chill the fuck out? Yeah. Anyway,
But look, I mean,
frustrated. It's very frustrating to hear
well,
that.
nothing will come from this, but it's just terrible to see. You don't want to see it.
Yeah,
you don't want to see
exactly.
anyone. Like, obviously, if the team is genuinely doing bad, and there is a problem with the players' attitude or something towards it, but there is no problem with their attitude.
I remember when Jurgen Klopp was at Dortmund, and they were coming second last, and the fans finally had enough of it, and they finally said something, right? Now, granted, he did win them a couple titles, some German Cups,
Correct.
and took them to the Champions League, right? But the year that he left, they were coming second last at one stage. And they had had enough. But I'm thinking, okay, they're coming second last. You kind of want to vent your frustration. But how can you be frustrated with coming second to Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, bro, we can chill the
they're
fuck
ahead
out.
of Dortmund.
Yeah.
Dortmund's a bigger club than them too. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
I know. It
Makes no sense. And if you do want them to challenge to try and win the title with the 6 points that they need, with 6 games remaining or whatever it is,
you've got to back them.
you back them.
You got to back them.
Like, why would the players be motivated to try and win for those fans when they're not even motivating them? You know what I mean?
Correct,
Like, they're coming in berating them in the stands.
Oh, what and they won that game, didn't they?
Yes.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's
fucking
what I mean.
crazy.
Yeah, they win the game and they're like, you guys suck. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for your support, by the way.
Oh, but back to the EPL.
Yep.
We've got our first relegated team.
It's official.
We've picked
I
all
think it's been
season.
official for like 3 months now.
I think it's been official after game 3, dude. Southampton suck.
They're bad. Yeah,
But
bad.
yeah, so Southampton's been relegated, and it's actually the fastest team in EPL history to be relegated.
Which is crazy because are they on track for the? They're not even on track for the lowest points, are they?
They're equal with the lowest points at the moment.
At the moment,
Yeah.
Which
so
is,
they've got 10 points, which was Derby.
Derby, yeah.
So Derby had 10 points and went down. However, obviously the league was closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was closer. So
yeah, because at this stage, I think
happened
there's
in
only.
this-
Sorry to cut you off, but there's only like 4 teams that are really in contention for relegation. The bottom 3 and Wolves. They're pretty much it.
And Wolves look to be safe now.
I think they're safe. I think they're about 6 or 7 points ahead of Ipswich. So
I think they're going to be safe.
yeah, I think it's safe.
I mean, unless Ipswich pull something out of their ass and Wolves can have a complete collapse.
Which, I mean, remember the year before they won the title, they were close to relegation, but they won their last 3 or 4 games and made it out. So, I mean, it is possible.
There's been a few teams that have done that. I mean,
possible.
Southampton's even done that, I think, in the past.
Yeah, I think they have. Yeah.
So, I mean,
But
it's possible.
it's official.
It's official. And then on top of that, the coach for Southampton's also resigned. He only took the job halfway through the season.
He took the job in November or December. Yeah. So I think he walked into an absolute shit show.
Well, here's the thing that a lot of the kind of other like pundits, Talk Sport and all those type of guys are talking about. They're sitting there going, if you're a manager of a championship side, getting promoted is probably the worst thing for your career.
Fuck yeah.
Because you
It's
get
such a
promoted,
hard
like
job.
you're so dominant in the thing. There's such a financial gap between these promoted teams.
Because they killed it. They came first in championship last year.
Oh, you tested my memory here.
That's right. You continue.
I'm pretty sure they got the automatic.
Top 2.
Yeah, so they got the automatic. I don't know if they were first.
Yeah.
But the issue is that so you can do so well in a championship, get promoted, then you get relegated next year. You fundamentally lose your job, right? So you come in, you have to compete with these teams that have a budget 10 times what your budget is. They have a team that's 10 times better than your team that you can produce. You can go out and spend money. But then the problem is that you don't have time for that team to build. So you've got to hope that other Premier League teams invest poorly and get below you. That's the only hope that you have to kind of stay up. And then once you stay up, the investment that you put in is worth it. So these managers try their hardest to win the league, to win the championship, get into the Premier League, and you're effectively signing a job away.
You're already behind the 8 ball. It takes like was it Bournemouth that went from like Division 4 all the way up to the Premier League in a record time. So you need like someone you need someone shrewd like that.
Yeah, but they also did it in a time where, like, obviously now the Premier League has just become a giant cash cow.
Yep.
So everyone is just spending copious amounts of money to succeed in that league. Bournemouth came up when that was it wasn't as prevalent. There was a few teams that would do it, but now you're seeing like Wolves splashing cash.
Yeah, you spend like 40, 50 mil on players. Like you never used to see that with the smaller
You're trying to tell me
teams.
Southampton's going to come and buy a player for 50 million? They're not going to do it. Right? And if they do it, they've overspent for a shit player.
Yeah.
Exactly what's happened.
Yeah.
So, look, I think it'll just keep being one of those revolving door type of.
It's got
I'm sure
the yo-yos.
Yeah,
Like yo-yos.
Southampton will go back down. They'll probably come back up within a season or two. That manager that brings them back up will get sacked. And they'll repeat the cycle.
Oh, God, it's going to be deja vu all over
that's
again.
what I mean. Because you even look at the likes of Ipswich now. All their best players that they bring in have a fucking
Release clause.
Yeah. So essentially, if they get relegated, team can come in for 30 mil, buy them.
Which I think is a bit low for Delap.
Yeah, but again, it's what kind of price tag you really see? Like, when,
in today's day.
No, I agree. But if you're going to agree to go, oh, we want you to come to the club, and he was at Man City.
Yes.
They go, we want you to come to the club. Well, we're going to buy you. Well, Delap's not going to go because he goes, well, you guys are probably going to get relegated. I mean, I could score 15 goals, but you still get relegated because the rest of you suck. Right? There's 2 good players in that squad.
Yeah, him and Hutchinson.
Yeah, him and Hutchinson. So they go, okay, we want you to sign. He goes, all right, well, I want a release clause. And they go, I'm going to put 100 million. He's going to go, no.
Yeah, no one's going to pay 100 million.
That's what I mean.
For a relegated club.
Yeah, irregardless. So you're always going to have to sell these players at a cut price as well.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose for him.
Sorry, to answer my own question about the championship, Leicester actually came first. And I should have known that because my manager was managing that team.
Oh, yeah.
I should have remembered that.
It's the last thing you'll ever win.
Nah, Conference League. Come on,
Yeah.
Conference League.
I can beat some team I've never heard of from Romania.
The Gia Warsaw in Poland, yes. Ipswich came second. Southampton actually won the playoff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that was just recapping. Anyway, where are we off to next?
All right. Well, let's stay on the English Premier League trend here.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, Jack Grealish, the Manchester derby. Now, we will talk about how boring that game was.
Oh, God. Look, that won't take very long, but yeah.
Right? But after the game, he's gone to walk down the tunnel. One of the Man U fans just reached over, slaps him in the face. And you think, fuck, that's...
I wish there was video of it.
I know. I've been trying to find video somewhere, phone footage or something, or something. And it was, like obviously the report came out with allegedly slapped in the face.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But then confirmed by the Greater Manchester Police Department, where they've come out and confirmed to ESPN that a 20-year-old, and they've released all his details, by the way.
It's crazy.
So a 20-year-old named Alfie Holt of Haven Drive, Droylsden, has been charged with assault. Because he's
slapping
Grealish.
Yeah,
he's now got a front court on the 14th of July.
I love how they put his name, his age, and where he lives pretty much.
Yeah.
Might as well just give him the whole fucking address.
Yeah. See this guy? This guy's the bad guy. Look, if Manchester City had fans, that could be dangerous for him, dude. But really, it's just the people that work at Manchester City.
Who's the guy from Oasis that loves Man City?
Oh.
That's pretty much the only fan that I know of.
Yeah. And does he even really love Man City?
No, he kind of does. I think he's been following for a while.
Yeah, all right.
You ain't got much.
Liam Gallagher?
Yes, that's it. Yes. Listen, Alfie Holt of Haven Drive, Droylsden, or whatever you say. I think you're going to be fine. Don't worry.
I'm sure he's going to get a lot of hate mail.
Oh, God,
on his
Instagram. From all 5 Man City fans,
Yeah. Yeah. I have 5 DMs. Fuck you, man.
Man City's the best.
Yeah. I know where you live. I don't care.
So does everybody else.
Yeah. It's on ESPN, bitch. but all right, before we move on, this is a kind of crazy one, man. And it's actually a player that played for both of our teams.
Yeah.
Right? So Yossi Benayoun.
Oh, Yossi, probably the greatest Jewish player ever. I can't name another Jewish.
Yeah, either can I.
So I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, Julian Edelman.
Sure. I know one other Jewish athlete, Goldberg.
No, Julian Edelman from the Patriots. Jewish.
Oh, is he?
He's Jewish, yeah.
Oh,
you wouldn't know it.
No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know it, actually.
Yeah. So, dude, get this. Yossi Benayoun, he survived an attack earlier this week on his home by a grenade. So, the 44-year-old who'd spent time he's been at West Ham, he's been at Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
He's played for some clubs.
And, half decent player, right? Didn't light the world on fire.
I think he played best for you guys.
I think so, yeah. That'd be the highlight of his
I remember
career.
we signed him because we had Torres, and they're like, Benayoun and Torres, that'll work again like at Liverpool. It didn't.
Yeah, it was Gerrard and Torres that worked at Liverpool. It's just like
we just got the shit of midfielder.
Oh yeah, dude, it's just like when we bought Minamino instead of buying Haaland. You know what I mean? It's like no, Minamino was the guy that was putting all the balls in. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Clearly,
Haaland was doing everything.
He's the FA Cup king. Like he's just what the fuck. So he was sitting in his house. Now it's so obviously he's retired now.
Yeah,
but he's sitting in his house. It's at I'm gonna butcher this. Ramat Hasharon, which is just north of Tel Aviv.
Okay. Well, we all know Tel Aviv, yep.
Yeah. So a motorcycle pulled up at the front of his house. And
you gotta do it with an accent. Hasharon.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to do that. It just seems racist. It's probably not, but it just seems racist. I don't know.
Why are you making it racist? It's just accent.
I don't know. Shalom, my brother. So the motorcycle pulls up at the front of his house, throws a grenade at the door. Right. So apparently the device triggered, went off, started a fire. Then the attacker fled from the scene. Emergency services were called, extinguished the flame. Luckily, nobody got hurt. But it's now the local police are forced now carrying out an investigation. The incident is not considered to be of a criminal nature. It's considered to be of a criminal nature, not a terrorist nature. So I think it was a mistaken identity type situation.
Yep.
And or let's just speculate, Benayoun's into some gangster shit.
Yeah, could you imagine Ben Ayoun is actually like an Israeli gangster?
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That's something that we could really follow up on then.
I'd prefer that narrative. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Let's just start making stuff up.
Fucking why not?
Yeah.
Everyone else makes shit up.
He's the biggest Israeli gangster.
Former EPL player is now running an Israeli mob, and there's been a hit on him. Now there's a big Jewish
Conspiracy.
mob war happening.
Ooh,
Fuck
yeah.
bro.
Don't mind it. I don't mind a Jewish mob war.
There's going to be matzo balls everywhere.
Yeah, get out the matzo soup. Everyone's gonna die.
Hey, side note, matzo soup, delicious.
It was delicious.
It was delicious, yeah.
We had it in New York. It
We
was
did,
great,
yeah, delicious.
All right. Well, why don't we jump into match day 30?
Yep.
It seems like a kind of a past event
Oh
now,
man,
right?
it feels like it was a lifetime
Well,
ago.
that's what I mean. There's been so many games in between. We obviously had all the Champions League games today, yesterday and today as well,
Yesterday, today, yep.
which was really exciting. And I think once we get the second legs done, we'll go back and do both legs
Yep.
of that next week.
Yep.
But, well, for a bit of a taste test, sink our teeth into something, we've got match day 30 for this week, and then we'll do 31.
Yep. So look, we'll quickly go through 30. Now, like you said before, there wasn't a lot of spectacular moments, so I think we could pretty much quickly run through round 30.
Yeah, I think there was a few little things.
A few little things, yeah. But look, the first game was the Arsenal game. Now, I got 5 this round.
I got 4.
You got 4 in this round. Now, first game was Arsenal. I had Arsenal in that one against Fulham.
I went the draw in that.
Which probably, Fulham came back from the international break off. I don't think they've won a game. They had the FA Cup. Well, they lost that.
They definitely won a game.
Talk about that later. But look, the big point for the Arsenal Fulham game was Gabriel did his hamstring.
Pulled his hammy.
But
yep. Once again, right, just like my earlier rant at the start of the episode, it's on Arteta.
Yep.
He himself runs his players into the ground.
Yep.
Right? How many minutes does Gabriel play? When they were winning 7-1
in the Champions League,
the Champions League, he started Gabriel. Why?
Crazy, bro.
Why?
Yeah.
Are you afraid that they were going to score fucking 7 goals? What are we talking about?
Bro, he literally could have put out his second string team, a full second string team. Even if you lose, who cares? As long as you don't lose by 6, you're fine.
No, they have to do it by 7 to lose.
Yeah, to lose, yeah.
And what are you trying to say? Your attackers won't score a goal?
Yep.
So
So Gabriel is now out for the rest of the season, I think. Bad hamstring injury. But the positive point for them is Saka did come back.
He got a goal.
And he did score, yeah. So look, Mourinho scored off a deflection. Saka came in the 66th minute and scored 7 minutes later. And then Muniz scored in the 94th minute to make it. All right, so I got Arsenal in that one. Next game was Wolves-West Ham. Now, this is a fucking boring game. Let's be real. It was boring.
I mean, there was goals.
Was it 2-1?
Yeah, it was 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
2-1 of Wolves.
So,
I had Wolves in this.
Yeah, so I had a draw in this one. So Larson scored in the 21st minute. Big deflection. Then Wolves hit the crossbar. Fulkrug finally gets a goal.
I did say that.
Yep.
It was a decent finish.
Yeah, look, it hit the crossbar. It was a 2-1 in that game?
Yes.
It was 2-1, yeah. I don't know why, but I don't have all the goals on here. It was only 1-0. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
You had one job, man.
I know. I fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're fired.
Thank you.
You're fucking fired, Barry.
Thank God. But yeah, Wolves won that one. So move on. It was actually good for their trying to get out of relegation.
Well, this is kind of, I mean, obviously their efforts in these last 2 kind of match days, 30 and 31, I think has pushed them out of the relegation zone into like pretty much safe territory now. It's going to take a pretty big collapse.
Yeah, so Wolves are actually they're 12 points ahead.
Yeah,
so forget about it.
They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Next game was Forest Man U. Now I had Forest in this one.
I went draw.
Which, to be fair, was only a 1-0 game, but Man U just cannot score, and
Dude,
it's just,
they're shocking. I just noticed that today. So Munoz, who's the defender for Palace,
Munoz, yeah,
he has more goals than Xerxes and Hoyland
combined. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
He's got like 8 goals this year.
He's doing well, actually.
Yeah.
He's fucking killing
That's
it.
insane
Yeah.
that you have a defender that's scoring more than 2 of your strikers.
Yeah, straight
The
up.
fuck
Right? Yeah.
did they spend big money on too?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Now, in this Forest game, former Man U player, Alenga, scores in the 5th minute. Bro,
Hey.
what a goal.
Dude,
He ran like 50 meters.
yeah, he goes 50 meters and then just taps it in the corner.
Yeah.
What a
Bro,
goal.
I'm like, where is everybody? Everyone just thought, oh, it's a Langer, we'll let him run.
I think he had about 3 challenges that went on him.
Yep.
2 of them were already from behind, right? Like,
Yeah.
They were nowhere near him. And then the third is the defender stepping up to try and challenge him. Just breezes past him like he's not there.
Bro, just flew past
And then
him.
Anana's just completely out of position.
Yeah, just flew.
And he just goes, oh, thanks for the corner. I'll tap it in.
It was just an absolute shambles of Man U. It was just an easy counter-attack. There were 2 other points in this game. Dallo did hit the crossbar in the 28th minute off a corner. Now, he's getting up in attack, but you can see it's not working.
Yeah.
And the last thing was in the 97th minute, Murillo with the clearance off the line.
Yeah.
So that's where you draw. It wasn't a bad tip. It nearly happened, but Murillo fucked you for it.
It's just more that Man U can't score, dude.
That's true, yeah.
They just can't score. They're shocking.
So yeah, I had Forest in that one. Next game was Bournemouth Ipswich. Okay, I didn't pick this, but I had Bournemouth and Ipswich won.
Yeah, dude, I also had Bournemouth in this.
Yeah.
Bournemouth's drop-off is... someone needs to kind of study how you drop off so hard.
Bro, it's been such a bad drop-off, eh? I'm going to look it up now, but I don't think they've won a game in 8. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 games they haven't won, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm going to credit it to me putting multiple Bournemouth players in my fucking fantasy league.
Big jinx boy.
Oh my God, dude. They're on this giant run. I'm like, oh, sweet. Better put that midfielder Christie in, who's now out for the fucking season. Fuck, man.
Bad jinx. Even fucked up his health.
Dude, I hate that guy.
Look, Ipswich had a goal. Ipswich got the ball off the line from a Bournemouth shot. 2 minutes later, Broadhead scored for Ipswich. So 2-goal turnaround there.
Like, who the fuck is that guy?
Broadhead, I have no fucking idea.
That's what I mean. Who the fuck is that guy?
Then Delap gets his goal in the 60th minute. There were 3 defenders in there. No one tracked it. This is the kind of shit from Bournemouth now. They're just not doing the running that they were before. I don't know whether it's because they're tired or it's like fatigue or whatever it is, but they just don't seem to have the same cohesion that they did halfway through the season when they were beating Manchester City and pushing you guys and drawing with us. You know what I mean?
It's just, at some point, there's only like a few players that are now running on the pitch. Kirkes still runs.
Yep.
Evan Nielsen runs.
Yep.
Semenyo,
yeah, he's trying.
Runs.
Yeah, he's always trying.
But none of their midfielders are running.
Yeah, I think they're dead. There must be. It has to be fatigue. Then Evan Nielsen gets one back in the 67th minute. Altara had a chance in the last kick of the game. Didn't get it, so it ended 2-1. Just a note, Bournemouth, 4 home losses in a row.
That's insane.
You know what I mean? Like, if you told me that they were going to lose 4 in a row about 3 months ago, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy.
It's a flip, right? If you told me that they would have won that many games in a row when they're on their hot streak, I wouldn't have believed you. And
yeah,
now,
100%.
on the flip side, I don't believe that they've lost this many.
It's crazy.
It's almost like instead of just having a win and a loss and getting 60% of their games won or whatever.
Win, loss here, draw there. Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's win 6 in a row and then lose 6 in a row. That seems like a good way to play football. Fucking idiots.
Next game was Brighton Villa. So,
I didn't expect this either.
No, 3-0.
Both coming off the FA Cup, so both had games.
Yep.
But Brighton just had nothing in this game.
No, absolutely. And you're starting to see Asensio and Rashford that their quality is starting to come through for Villa. So like that depth is really starting to help him out. But Ayari had a free kick off the post, and then there were 3 penalty shouts in the first half.
Yeah.
None of them got called as a penalty. I was like, all right, cool. We're going to go down this path. That's cool. Not giving up penalties today. Sweet.
Yeah, I prefer that, man. 'Cause I think it's just penalties given out for
just anything. Yeah, same.
Oh, he touched him. I know he touched him. It's a physical game. They should fucking touch each other.
But let's go through the goal scorers. So Rashford scored in the 51st minute and literally just came off a long ball. Nothing wrong with the long ball. We've been saying it all season. David Moyes comes in, perfects it. Yep, fucking oath. Until Beto starts to fuck it up. Then Asensio gets his goal in the 78th minute. Again, another long ball. Very easy. And then Marlon got the game in the 100th minute just to kill it off. So, again, Asensio, Rashford, you can see their class starting to come through, really helping Villa.
Man, they need to keep Asensio for next year.
I think they definitely do as well.
I don't think they'll be able to.
Because he's at PSG at the moment. I think PSG should be willing to sell. They've got a fucking stacked squad.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he won't get into that.
Oh, no way. Next game was the City game. So City won 2-0 against Leicester. I had City in this one. That was pretty 50-50.
Yeah, Haaland out.
Haaland out.
Mamush stepped in.
Yeah, Mamush got his goal from the keeper, spilt the ball straight to him. He put it in. Grealish got a goal. First goal in 16 months. 16 months, bro. You've got $100 million player not scoring in 16 months. That's insane.
It is insane. His drop off needs to be recorded and studied as well.
And turned into a movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he went from being like the cult hero at what is it, Aston Villa.
Villa, yeah. Villa captain.
Cult hero at Villa before they got good.
Yep.
Get sold for big money. They really improved their squad with that.
Yeah. They really did.
They really did.
Yeah.
And then goes to City, starts off so well, and now
helps him win the Champions League.
Barely gets into the squad, and when he does get in the squad, doesn't do anything.
He's lost his England spot as well.
Yeah.
Couple notes. There was a protest at the King Power Stadium. Fans have had enough. I do not blame them.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, you can't. They went from winning the league.
Yeah.
You know what? They lost it once. They lost their owner.
Yep.
Bro,
it really...
He was a big factor within them winning, right?
It really, really hurt them, yeah. And, like, to lose him in such a horrible way as well. And look, in the second half, there was actually 0 highlights. Leicester had 2 shots all game. Yeah. That just shows the quality of this game.
But it also shows the quality of what... Right?
Yeah.
Because they're just... very lackluster performances.
It's very, yeah, you're right. It is very lackluster. I think they're just, obviously their only trophy is the FA Cup, so they're focusing on that. Yeah. But they still need a push for top 4.
100%. They've got to make Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
Man City not in.
Yeah, like it was before they had the Saudi money.
yeah.
Next game is Brentford-Newcastle. I actually had Brentford in this thing of an upset. Didn't happen.
No, I had Newcastle. I think Newcastle might cruise home.
They're looking, ever since the final I had against you guys,
their confidence is high.
They've looked really good, yeah.
Confidence is high.
So, look, first half was all Newcastle. Ishak missed an open goal header in the second minute, but then Ishak gets his goal just before halftime. Go up 1-0. Mbeumo gets a penalty in the 66th minute. Now, I don't know if you know this, but he scored 10 out of 10 penalties.
Yeah, right. He's on 100%.
100%, yeah. More than Cole Palmer.
Yeah, well, he was looking good at the first half of the season.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now, Pinnock hits the post 2 minutes after the penalty. So, like, the win was behind Brentford. And I'm thinking, yeah, Brentford's going to get it. And then Tonali's gets this cross/goal.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
It was an amazing
It was a crazy
goal.
angle.
No way he meant it.
No way
he meant it.
No way. So he gets his goal in the 74th minute. Look, Brentford pushed for the draw, but didn't get the goal. So look, I thought Brentford was going to be like an upset tip, and yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Next game was Palace. They played Ipswich. Palace played. Where's your Palace one?
Palace versus Southampton.
Oh, Southampton. That's it. Draw. Definitely didn't pick this.
No, of course no one picked this. One, like Palace has come off just the best run of form ever.
Yeah.
They get Mateta back.
And they just had just won the FA Cup tie.
Yeah.
So they're in the semi-finals.
I don't know if they were tired from the FA Cup.
Possibly.
You know, Southampton. Southampton opened the scoring.
Well, yeah, like they got the goal in the 20th minute from Onuachu, I think his name is. I was like, oh, okay. Southampton scored, which fucked my fantasy because I had Henderson and Munoz. Totally fucked my clean sheet.
Oh, dude, I just thought of the name for the episode.
What?
I'm going to call it Got Your Nose.
Why?
Because Jose Mourinho grabbed that guy's nose.
You're an idiot. Thank you for that input. But look, and it was only a draw because Franca, his first goal for Palace, scored in the 92nd minute. So Southampton held out for, 70 minutes. And they fucking copped it right at the end.
I know, they wouldn't have...
I know, they wouldn't have been like the earliest team out.
They just wanted that record.
Yeah, bad. Next game, we'll go through your game.
Well, there was kind of a bit to unpack with this game. One, we didn't play very well.
No, you didn't.
Not at all, right?
Not at all, no.
Everton probably should have gone up. Our defense was shocking. Van Dijk's air swinging.
Oof, bro.
Since when the fuck does Van Dijk air swing?
Bro, I don't know what was going on in your defense. Dude, it was 6s and 7s, and I saw Van Dijk's air swing going, bro, what is this?
Bro, it's lucky that Beto is in shit form.
Hit the post off that
play
post,
has an offside goal disallowed.
Do you think that was offside?
Well, yeah, I mean...
This is where, you know, that new automated...
Yeah, that's where it's going to come in.
Perfect.
I think he was offside.
Maybe like a toe or something.
Yeah.
Very close.
He looked offside. I think it's one of the. That's why you need the automatic, right?
Yeah.
Because you just take away the speculation if he was or
Yeah.
wasn't offside. There's not been many arguments about it either,
No,
right? No one's really come out and said, "Oh, he wasn't."
it wasn't. Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think the big piece in this is fucking Tarkovsky.
Tarkovsky?
It's a red card, right? Like I saw it in real time,
Yep.
and I went, "Oh, he cleared the ball."
Mm.
Then the more you look at it, I'm like, what he did was completely unnecessary. He's come lunging and left his studs up. PGMOL's come out after the fact and said it was a red card.
Oh,
and
did
that
they?
was an error, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have said it was an error and he should have been red carded.
Yep.
But then now there's all these stats that come out. So you know that Tarkovsky it now holds the record for the player to receive the most yellow cards without receiving a red card.
Bro, he is on a crazy like run of yellow cards.
Yeah, and
crazy run.
I think I figured it out, and I did say this to a few different people, is that I go, he's kind of like the nice guy. He commits these crazy fouls, but then goes there and goes, oh, like has this innocent face, like, oh, yeah, no, I understand. But then goes ahead and does shit like that again.
Mm.
So I sit there and I go, well, at some point, it's almost like where the EPL doesn't want to encourage diving, but they won't give a foul unless you dive.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
You know, so it's almost one
unless
of those
you
ones
make a
where
meal of
they
it.
won't give you a red unless it's got like malice in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could have broken Alexis McAllister's
That
leg,
was
to be
bro.
fair.
McAllister looked fucked after that.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't good.
No, not at all.
And then obviously that changes the game if they go down to 10 men.
Oh, bad.
Because
bad,
then they can't play their striker up front.
Yep.
Because they have to
Better
have
have
10
to
men
drop
behind
in.
them. Well, they have to have 10 men behind the ball. That's
Yep.
the only way they kept stopping us.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jota gets his goal, which obviously they're trying to play a contention if that was offside as well. So you've got Luis Diaz in an offside position walking back on. Now, obviously, the argument and why it didn't get offside is that he never actually engages with the ball.
Not in the initial play, which is so because it gets passed to like Tarkovsky, I think.
Yeah, so
Gets the
Tarkovsky goes for clearance, does a poor clearance.
Poor clearance goes to McAllister, I think, and then Diaz gets back on side. So initially, like, because when you see all the stills, you're like, oh, he's definitely offside, right?
Yeah.
But when you watch the actual play, he's offside for that play.
Yeah.
But then once you guys regain the ball, he gets onside before the pass.
But also, it's the whole not engaging with the player. At no point does he try to run to get the ball.
No.
At no point does he try and like engage in the play.
Yeah.
He just stands there looking up. It's almost like the when the ball gets put through and the player puts his hands up and just doesn't go for it.
Yeah.
You're not going to call him offside.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's not engaging. So, and then, there was obviously Everton fans trying to say, well, Tarkovsky wouldn't have done it. I'm like, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
Not clear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't
He
make
wasn't going
sense.
to clear the ball. Like, yeah.
If he was smart
Plus, he was
enough-
right behind him. Like, I don't think.
I guess if he was smart enough, should have left it. He would have been offside.
Yeah, 100%.
But no one's going to do that. But yeah, I mean, again, it was still uneventful. We got the 1-0 win, which we needed, but
Yeah, but it wasn't a very good game.
no.
And again, I think since the PSG game, you're just limping. But I mean, like, luckily you're so far ahead, it doesn't really matter.
No, we can have a few fuck ups.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which
Which we'll talk about later.
yeah.
All right, we'll talk about the Chelsea game. Look, just a couple stats before we get into the actual game. There were 10 yellow cards in this game, so it was another Stamford Bridge special.
You guys just have such stop-start games.
Oh, bro,
There's
horrible.
no flow in it, right?
Zero flow, and it's so boring to watch. But this is a good one for Spurs. They've had one win in 40 games at Stamford Bridge.
Dude,
One win in 40.
they've got, but also this season, Angie's one of the most losing managers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm still going to go off the fact that obviously had a lot of injuries. That's a very stop-start.
Oh, no, look, 100%. It's obviously not all his fault. I think he's had substantial injuries in substantial positions with players, right?
Yep.
To lose your 3 starting centre-backs is crazy.
And your keeper.
Yeah.
And your attackers.
Yeah.
And your mid.
Pretty much
Pretty much
everyone.
everybody, yeah.
He's pretty much in every
Yeah.
position at some point has lost their main player.
Yeah.
And then in multiple positions in multiple games.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's the opposite of Mikel Arteta where he just ran his players into the ground. These guys got big tackles and just got injured.
And just
trying
got
to
hurt,
come back from injury, got injured.
Like Vicario, I think broke his leg or did something with his leg from playing.
Yeah.
Getting tackled or something. Yeah. Big shout out for this game for Nicholas Jackson. Bro, the difference between him and Nkuku is just out of control. Nkuku, so you can tell that what Maresca wants is his attackers to push, right? He wants them to press on the defenders. Jackson does that and Nkuku doesn't. And you can tell here it made a big difference because he was doing all the running and putting a lot of pressure on the defenders. We nearly scored after the first minute. Vanderven nearly got a fucking own goal. Comes off the post, luckily for Spurs. But that was all because long ball to Jackson. He just wants to run. He doesn't want the ball at his feet. He's happy to run.
Well, he puts pressure on the back line as
Big
well.
time, yeah.
I think
big time.
Nkunku drops in a lot. And
He wants to play in that number 10 role.
yeah, and
Like, bro, you're not that guy.
and like I mean, you saw in the preseason, be able to play the position, ran a lot.
Yep.
He got on the ball,
Yep.
and then as soon as you realize he wasn't in the position that he wanted to be in, all of a sudden, he doesn't run. He doesn't link up with his players.
It's like he's had a bit of a sook. He's
Yeah.
just gone, oh, I don't want to fucking do it.
yeah, well, can I go somewhere else?
Yeah, exactly. And then, look, Enzo nearly scored in the first half. Udogie blocked the shot on the line. I don't know if you saw, did you see Vicario save on Sancho?
Yeah,
Bro, what a save. What an
he's a
absolute
great
save.
keeper. You can
Bro,
see
he's
the
a-
difference with when they have Vicario versus when they don't.
Yeah. When they had that young Swedish dude or whatever he was.
He was half.
He was
decent,
good, but
there's
Vicario's...
levels. There's levels to this shit, man.
Second half, look, we start off well, and Enzo gets his header off Palmer cross. Caicedo, his goal, cracker goal, volley, gets disallowed because Colwell was offside, which I don't get. He's not involved in the play. Like, I did not understand that, but whatever. Then Sarr gets a goal, cracker goal as well. He has his goal disallowed for foul on Caicedo to get the ball. And then Son had his shot saved. Actually, Sanchez put off a good save. He lost the ball so many times. He's
He's not a keeper that plays with his
He's
feet.
not.
He's
He's
a
really
shot
not.
stopper. And
good shot stopper, like he was at Brighton, but he ain't. Bro, you want the ball? You want someone playing
I mean,
the ball? He ain't that guy.
like we've said, right? Kepa's keepers.
Yep.
You guys got rid of it. But I can understand that. Like, that's more of a behavioural thing. Like, he's really just fucked up multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, not coming off the pitch, clearly having a bit of an attitude around how good
Especially
he is as
that
a keeper.
that Sardi incident
Yeah.
with the League Cup final. That was
that
was
was
bad.
insane, right?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, Chelsea got the 3 points, which put us into 4th at the moment before round 31. So it was a needed win.
Yeah, no,
Not
for
a
sure.
great. Again, we have not played well for fucking months, but we got the win.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move to round 31.
Let's do it.
31. Yeah.
Let's go. Jump straight in.
So again, I got 5 in this round.
I got 6.
So we got 10 each.
Yeah. we stay at even points again.
Yeah. Now the first game was Everton Arsenal. I had a draw in this one,
I also picked a draw in this.
which I think was a good tip.
Yeah.
Trossard gets his goal in the 34th minute, which is a nice finish.
It was a nice finish.
Nice
but
run, nice finish.
But again, I think that's the nicest that they were able to produce in the game.
That was the nice. We actually watched the game live, and there was not much happening.
No,
but
it
that
was a very boring game.
yeah. Second half, Lewis Skelly gives away a penalty in the first minute, so really made a meal of it.
Look, I mean, look, I'm an Arsenal fan. I can understand what they get annoyed about. He does start the foul outside the box, but I
yeah.
think the bit that everyone keeps overlooking is that as Skelly goes down, he kicks his leg out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They all think it's him putting his arm across him and trying to like pull him down outside the box, and then it carries on into the box. But I would say that the penalty is given because he kicks his leg out to trip him.
That's what I think as
Right?
well. Yeah.
That's like, I wouldn't say, oh, it's a penalty because of his arm around him. I
Yep.
would have just said that's a play on. But then he kicks his leg out, trips him over. It's a
Yep.
penalty. It's
Yep.
silly.
And then look, the most interesting part of the second half was that the ref blew the whistle early.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 10 seconds early, and he's like, full time, and Everton's like, no, there's still time. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, we'll just play on us. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then they kick it. It goes straight to David Raya. He goes to boot it. He calls time off. And
Yeah.
then Arsenal's like, no, there's still more time left. We go, no, there's not. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That was literally the most interesting part of the second half besides the penalty.
Oh.
But yeah.
And then they were trying to say someone should have got carded for blocking David Raya as well.
Yes.
Yeah, when
There
they
was,
jumped in front of him. And
right,
I'm
he
like,
did it. He did it like 3 times as well. Yeah. Next game was Palace Brighton. I had a draw in this game.
This game was insane. I went Palace.
This was the most interesting game, maybe besides your one, but this was up there for the most interesting game out
It's
of the last
fucking
2
crazy,
weeks.
dude.
Yeah.
3 red cards.
And some cracker goals too.
Yeah.
Marteta's goal,
Yeah,
bro, beat
bro.
the fuck. I don't know if it's that new headgear that he's got on, but fuck, he cracked the fuck out of
You
it.
should have wore it the fucking week before.
So Mateta's left foot, gets a goal in the 3rd minute. Henderson makes a double save in the 13th minute, which will come into play later on. And then that guy comes back and he gets a goal in the 31st minute.
The fucking Welbeck just knows how to score.
He does know how to score
He really
goals,
does.
yeah, straight out. But then, as you said before, Munoz. Now it wasn't. He hasn't scored. He hasn't scored 8. He scored 6 goals in the Premier League.
Right.
Yeah, but still more than Højlund and Xerxes.
Correct.
And like you said, he's been on fire. Like he's absolutely killed. And then Nketiah comes on. Right? Okay, so at this stage it's 2-1 to Palace. Nketiah comes on for Palace, and he gets a yellow for a dive, which was a horrible dive. Wasn't even close. And then he gets 10 minutes later. He then gets a second yellow for a high foot. I'm like, bro, you just came on.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing?
You know, the manager probably told me, "Guy, I need you to make an impact in this game."
No, not like that.
Yeah. Please don't kick that guy. He just kicks him, dude. Full studs up too.
And then in the 90th minute, Guy gets his second yellow. He had a yellow as well before. He gets a second yellow for a high
Almost
foot.
for an identical tackle.
It was
that
exactly
Nketiah
the
done.
same, wasn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
You watch it, I'm like, hang on, is this a replay? Fucking idiot.
And then so that puts Palace down to 9. So it's 11-9 at this stage. But then 6 minutes later, Van Hecker,
Yeah.
who gave away a bad foul in I think it was the first half, he gave away a foul. He gets a second yellow for the last man, which was a clear second yellow.
It was definitely a second yellow. It was
Clear
like he
second
probably
yellow,
could have got a red for it, to be fair.
Well,
But
he
it
did.
Well, no, because
You meant a straight red.
and then he would have got 3 games instead of 1.
Yeah.
But
But he got his second yellow, which
Second yellow,
equated to a
yeah.
red. And then Henderson in the 102nd minute pulls off a save for them to win the game. So my
Yeah.
draw was looking good, and then Henderson decided to just have a fucking cracker save right
yeah,
at the
he
end.
wanted to cut me some slack and give me the win. That fucking time.
Next game is Wolves. So Wolves played Ipswich. Wolves played Ipswich. I had Wolves in this one.
Well, this is a big game as well. I had Wolves
This
as
was
well.
the relegation,
pretty
relegation
much, right?
game.
This
Yeah,
is now tip the favours to
correct.
stay
Yeah,
in, right?
yeah.
They've gone 12 points ahead,
Yep.
and they were just battling Ipswich. They safe.
And it looked like Ipswich started off really well. So they scored Delap got his goal 16th minute.
Yeah,
Was the head of the back end, and he was on the spot, which he's been
unmarked.
unmarked. Yeah,
I don't know why people
he's
keep
found the
leaving him
space.
unmarked.
Yeah. And then João Gomez, fucking. Did you see I think he pinched the ball from I think it was Larson. Anyway, he gets his goal. Way too much space anyway. So it's 1-1 at this stage, and then no, sorry. Joe Gomez hits the post, so it's still 1-0 to Ipswich. But then Sarabia snatches a goal, just snatched at it. They score, so it's 1-1 at this stage, and then 11 minutes later, Larson gets the winner. So it went from Ipswich being up, getting closer to Wolves, to then just totally swapping around.
To them essentially being relegated from the league now.
Now they're pretty much relegated,
Yeah.
in a 10-minute period. So, yeah, that's pretty much done that one. Next game was West Ham Bournemouth. Now I had a draw in this game, and I am frustrated about this, and I'll bring it up when we talk about fantasy. But I had a draw, and I got the draw.
I had Bournemouth.
And again, we got to stop picking Bournemouth. Eh?
Well, I mean, I just keep going back to the form they're in.
Yeah.
Fuck Christie.
So look, Evan Nielsen gets his goal in the 38th minute from Areola spilt it straight to him. He's average. I think they need to get a new keeper next year. Yeah, I think with Potter there, I think he will try to get his players that
Well,
he
they
needs.
need some younger players to come in, right? Because it's just an aging team.
It is, yeah.
Where it's just like if you don't start investing now in like 3 seasons,
They might get relegated
Jared
again.
Bowen's probably got a season or 2.
Socek is probably up there.
So,
They're centre backs as well.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
yeah.
it's a lot of an aging team.
It
You can
is,
see
yeah,
they
yeah,
can't
yeah.
run.
Fulkrog gets his header, gets a goal. This was meant to be a big money signing. He's done fuck all this year, but at least he got a goal in this game.
He scored what?
Like 2 or 3.
Fucking Xerxes and Haaland.
Yes,
and
he has
Højlund,
scored Xerxes and Haaland, yeah.
You know, that's a positive.
Yeah, that's always good. Good news for him. And then Bowen gets a header 7 minutes later. I'm thinking, isn't he like 5 foot tall? How's he getting headers?
And Sterling scores headers too.
Does he?
Yeah, he has.
Maybe with you guys.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Sterling header goal.
Yeah.
So this puts West Ham up.
Alexis McAllister gets headers all the time.
Well, I've never seen Bowen get a header. Okay, just cut it out.
Stop hating on Bowen's headers, man.
Stop hitting me with facts. And then Evan Nielsen gets his double from a Huijsen header back in. So Look, I'm just going to say now I had Evan Nielsen on my bench for fantasy and he got 13 points and it fucking burnt the shit out of me. Because
I had Flecken on my bench, man. He got 10. We all make mistakes, dude.
We all do make mistakes, yeah. Next game was Villa Forest. Now, I had a draw in this game. Villa won 2-1. So Villa scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. Started off like a house on fire. Rodgers got his goal.
I thought Villa was going to play a lot slower than what...
Considering they've had a lot of games
that they've had.
Yeah. But they started off like a fucking house on fire. And it's real funny how I had Rodgers in my team, and as soon as I take him out, he decides to start banging in goals again. This always happens, bro. Always happens.
It's a conspiracy.
And then Marlon gets a goal 2 minutes later. So they're up 2-0, like off the bat. Jota Silva gets his goal in the 57th minute, which was funny because it looked like Anderson was gonna score, and then Jota Silva just came out of nowhere and just put it away. If I was Anderson, I would have been like, oh, that's annoying. I wanted that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Sells did make a 1-on-1 save with Rodgers. Nice play.
I mean, I still say that Sells is one of the top 3.
He's been top 3 keeper in the league for sure.
Him, Flecken.
Yep. And Allison.
Yeah, I mean, Allison, he hasn't played enough games to really justify
That's
him
true.
in the league.
Yeah.
I think his best games have been in the Champions League, obviously PSG. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd put Flecken and
for sure, yeah. And look, Forest did try to get that equalising goal, which would have been great for me. But again, they couldn't do it. And Villa get another win. Villa is on fire at the moment.
Yeah, dude, obviously Champions League that they played this week, and then obviously the second leg this week.
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to see.
And they're pushing for top 4. And they're in the semi-final of the FA Cup. It's been a good run.
Yeah, 100% good run. And if they build on this next year, they're going to be a dangerous team.
Fuck yeah. Look, we'll do the Chelsea game. This is going to be very, very quick. All right. So the funniest part was, I don't know if you saw Damsgaard tripped himself in front of goal.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're going to score here. And then Damsgaard,
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good.
Oh, lucky they suck.
That was pretty much all the highlights in the first half. But then, so Maresca put out a second string team. He had no Cucurella, no Palmer, no Neto, no Jackson. And you could tell the difference between our second string players and our first string players. Because, again, Nkuku does fucking nothing. Jackson did more in the first 3 minutes than Nkuku did in the whole first half.
It's like he doesn't want to be there.
I don't think he does either. I think he does want to play in that number 10 role, but he knows he's never going to get it. So he's just gone, fuck it. So I think we'll be selling. Sanchez put off a big save off a counter-attack off Mbembo, and Vandenberg missed an open header literally a minute later. The cross has come in, and he's headed it down, and it's gone bang over. Yeah. That was pretty much the. Oh no, sorry. There's more. There was more. More Brentford. Yeah, Wissar nearly scored off a header, but missed the goal in the 81st minute. And look, we did look better when we got our first string players on. When Neto,
generally you should.
Yeah, we looked a lot better, but
consider that there's a problem if you first team manager.
Bro, what I don't understand is why he didn't start all these players from the start. But there's conspiracy
you guys are fighting for top.
We're fighting for top 4, but they're saying because we've got what's his name, Conference League.
But you have 3 teams.
Exactly. So I didn't rate that. Is there any chance we can pause? Probably not. I'll just hold. All right. Do you want to go through the Liverpool game?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a pretty shitty game for us. Second loss of the season.
Yeah.
It's second loss of the season. And look, all credit to Fulham. They capitalised on our mistakes.
Yes.
I will say Curtis Jones at right back, who had a great game against Everton.
Did he play right back against Everton?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we have no right backs.
I thought Connor Bradley was back.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So... Yeah, so
Okay.
Curtis Jones and Robbo, both our fullbacks, had shocking games.
Yeah,
right?
Robbo this is just solidifying that you guys need a new left back.
No, of course. He's too old. He's done his time with us. He's been a great player for us, but that's it. You've got so Curtis for some reason uses his knee.
Yeah, to clear?
To get the ball away, and it bounces straight off him, straight to a Fulham player who then just converts it to Sessegnon.
Yep.
Sessegnon just converts the ball. And
before that was McAllister's goal.
Which is, I'm getting to that. I'm doing the bad.
Oh, you're just doing that. Oh, you're doing okay.
Bad
we're going bad to good.
Let me do my goddamn analysis,
I thought
man.
we're doing it in order, man.
You know? Get out of my face.
Okay.
Yeah. Pee your pants.
No, I might actually.
Yeah, good. I hope you do. Drink more Monster. So, yeah, that one's in. Then Robbo's goddamn mistake.
Bro.
Kicks the ball. It's what you teach every kid. Do not kick the ball across goal.
Correct.
What does he do? Kicks it directly across goal.
Straight to a Wobie.
Straight to a Wobie.
Yeah.
And then I go, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And then, the third mistake for their third goal, which I would say is probably a better kind of control from Muniz.
It was nice, eh?
It was a pretty good control. He's pretty much turned Van Dijk, which again, 2 games in a row with just poor performances from Van Dijk, which is rare. That's not ever happened.
No.
Right? He's touched the ball through, turned, and he's finished it, right?
Yeah.
Kelleher in goals. I think it was Allison. You got a better chance of saving that. But, yeah, turns him inside out and gets the goal, which is to their credit. Now, on the positives that we got out of the game, right, is McAllister's goal. And, look, McAllister and Gravenberch have been our 2 best players, especially in the midfield all season, right? Dominic.
Besides Salah, you mean? Or are you talking about just
in the midfield?
Just midfielders? Yeah.
So in the midfield, they've been our 2 best players by far.
Oh, yeah,
right?
easy.
Endo's had a few shouts. I think Dominic's had a few games where he's played good.
He started off slow, then he had a good little period, but now he's starting to kind of drop. Sobbo.
Yeah, no, look, he has games in and out where it's good, right? I think there's a lot of games where he's covered Trent Alexander-Arnold.
True, yeah.
But yeah, he's had some good games. But consistently, like Alexis and Gravenberch have been the outstanding players in him. Now, McAllister gets the ball, turns a player, goes on and just cracks it straight into the beautiful goal.
Oh, it was sick,
fantastic goal.
Yeah.
Right, but again, we opened the scoring.
That's what I was thinking. Like after that goal, especially a goal like that, like your team's gonna go, all right, let's fucking push on from there.
Push on for it, and we just made mistake after mistake in defense, which we haven't done all year.
No, you guys have usually been really solid at the back.
We've been fairly weak in attack, right? And this is the wonder, right? How has Slot managed to get this many points and been so dominant with players like Gakpo has only scored in patches.
He did have a big injury. He was out for a while.
He was out for a while.
He
hasn't scored in 5 games.
Yeah, since he's come back, he hasn't done it. Yeah.
Jota, he had 13 games without getting a goal.
Yes.
Luis Diaz had something like 18 games
without
scoring a goal, right? He comes on off the bench and fundamentally almost scores immediately from that. And then we had a few shouts at the end of the game. Harvey Elliott hit the crossbar.
Yeah, that was close,
And we had a few chances where the ball went across the box. No one was there to put it away.
Yep.
Now, we did not deserve anything other than this game, right? Now, we also got assisted, right? So obviously, there was no red card in the last game. VAR got it wrong. Mm-hmm. In this one, at the start of the game, it was a fucking penalty for 4.
Yeah, because they had 2 shouts and they didn't give him 1. Now, the Van Dijk one, I was a bit 50-50 on. I was more leaning towards it wasn't a penalty.
I think that was just more of a hard challenge.
But the Kelleher one
was
definitely a penalty.
100% a penalty. Even PGMOL came out and said that was a penalty.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't understand how they could say it wasn't a penalty.
Well, because he's completely taken him out. He's missed the ball. He's got no ball on it. He's taking him out.
He's dived down and Pereira's been taken out.
You know, there's a lot of errors. Better than last season with VAR, but I mean, look, it's lucky that Fulham got a result. If that was a draw, there'd be a big shout to say that.
Yep.
But what it is, obviously we need to pick up in the next few games.
And just kill off this season.
We just need to get the league done.
That's
right?
it, yeah. Just get it done.
Just get it done rather than...
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was fun.
Yeah. Next game was Spurs-Southampton. I had Spurs in this one. Everyone. And like you said before, Southampton are now officially relegated after this loss. So look, Brendan Johnson gets 2. He scored in the 13th minute, and then he scores later on after Maddison gets the ball. Now, they do score to make it 2-1. Fernandez scores off a cross, but then 95th minute, Tells gets a penalty, and he scores it. And officially done. Next is the Manchester derby. Now, I had City in this. I should have predicted draw because both teams are playing dog shit at the moment.
I went City.
I have 3 points on this. Diaz got a yellow card after 50 seconds, which is fucking awesome. That's great. Foden had a chance in the 48th minute, but he took a touch, which fucked it up. And then Man U had 13 shots with only 2 on target. And that just shows you that they have a lot to build on. They need a lot of reinvestment. Again, they still have no striker.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Which we've been saying all season.
They've got no attacking outlet.
The only one is Bruno.
Bruno
Bruno.
Fernandes.
That's it. He's the only one.
He either has to put a perfect
Yep.
or a free kick, or it's a piece.
Yep.
It's shocking play.
Last game was Newcastle Leicester. I think we both had Newcastle in this.
Everyone had
look,
Newcastle, and Leicester can't score.
Well, good thing you say that. They have now gone 720 minutes without a home goal.
Did you see that?
700.
Their fans were leaving after like.
Yeah, after Newcastle scored the first goal.
Yeah,
They were
no.
booing already.
Yeah, they were like, I'm out of
Bro,
here.
they're so. I'd be sick of it too, bro. That'd be
100%,
horrible.
You pay a season ticket and you can't even see your team score.
Yeah, I know.
That's
700. That's like what? Fucking 6 games.
Yeah. Games without
No,
scoring.
8 games.
Without a home goal.
Without a home goal.
That's it.
Yeah. There was a nice moment for Leicester, though. They did debut a 15-year-old, Jeremy Monga. Now, they're sponsored by a gambling, right? He wasn't allowed to wear it. He was only 15 years old, so he came on with a blank shirt, which is funny to see. But, hey, look, they debuted a 15-year-old, which is nice. But look, we'll quickly go through the goals. Murphy scored after 2 minutes. And like you said, the crowd booed straight away.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it was straight away.
Booed and left.
Then 9 minutes later, Shah
It would have been great.
with this from behind, from his own half, has his cracker shot, and you're thinking, fuck yeah, it's going to go in. Comes off the crossbar. Murphy's there to clean it up, and he puts it away. So does that count as an assist for Shah?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Good for him.
Has to.
Good for him. And then Barnes scores later on, but as you know, former Leicester player does not celebrate.
Good for
which
him.
is nice to see. Daka hit the post in the 45th minute, and then that was pretty much it. After the 3-0, it was pretty much game.
Yeah, he both posts.
He did hit both posts,
Yeah,
which
both
sucks for
It's
him.
gotta
But
burn.
that's pretty much been Leicester's season.
100%.
Yeah. All right. That was round 31, so we're still in the same amount of points for tipping. Well, sorry, I'm
You're 4 behind me.
still 4 behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see how I can catch up to you this week.
Well, go through our tips for match day 32.
Yep.
So first game, we've got City versus Palace.
I've gone draw.
Now, funny enough, I've changed this 3 times today.
What, you've gone from City to Palace to draw?
No, I've gone Palace, and then I've gone draw, and then I went back to Palace, and then I remembered they had the 2 red cards, so
Yep.
I've gone City.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Then we've got Southampton Villa.
Villa.
It's
There's nothing else to say. Villa's in the
Yeah.
Champions League. Southampton's relegated.
Then we've got Forest and Everton. This is a hard one, right?
Because Everton are cunty. They're real cunty to play against.
Like 5 1-all draws.
Yeah, it's just, if you look at their previous history, they haven't won in like the last like 5 or 6 games, but they've had 4 or 5 draws. So, but I have gone Forest in that one.
Yeah, I've gone Forest too.
Yeah.
Then we've got Brighton and Leicester.
Brighton.
Like, Leicester can't score a goal.
Leicester can't score at home. What makes you think they score? Like, they might score away, but I just have Brighton, yeah.
Then we have Arsenal Brentford. It's a hard game, and also it's more what's Arsenal Champions League.
Well, yeah, they've got the second leg coming up. I think they know they're out of contention, and I think Brentford have I think they do have a good record against Brentford, but I've gone draw.
I've gone draw as well.
Yeah.
Then we've got Chelsea and Ipswich.
Look, Chelsea are pushing for top 4. I have to go Chelsea.
It's a hard one here because I could see it being a draw.
I could see it being a draw as
Near
well.
the
We're
wall
not
too.
playing well.
I've also gone Chelsea.
Yep.
Then we've got Wolves Tottenham. It's a hard game.
I have gone Wolves, actually.
Yeah, no, I can see that happening. I've gone draw. On the pure fact that I think Wolves relax a little bit
Because now they're
12
pretty much
points.
safe,
Everyone's
right?
pretty much saying they're safe.
Yeah.
I think they may relax. You might see maybe a couple goals, but all that Strand Larsen's impact their defense.
And Tottenham have the Europa League tomorrow. So
Fair, so they have a game.
they have a game, and I think they're more worried about that than anything.
Then we've got Liverpool and West Ham.
Look, I've gone Liverpool.
It's at Anfield. You have to go Liverpool.
West Ham aren't the best team. I think you guys have pumped them the last like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm expecting at least a win.
Yeah. Then we've got Newcastle, Man U. I've gone Newcastle.
Yeah, man, you suck.
And then the
Plus, they're in the Europa League too.
final game of the round. Listen.
2 out of form teams.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, beat us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they could definitely do it. So I've gone draw.
Same. Sorry, bro. I need to. Just fantasy.
Child. Like a child. He can't hold his goddamn monster. But we'll jump into all my do his little we'll jump in and look. Oh damn. Start with mine. So, annoyingly, I got 45 points, slightly above the average in game week 30. Now, obviously, the annoying thing is Gabriel going, but at the same time, Christie going off injured. So that was great for me. 2 goddamn injured players. And, had the right goddamn subs that week. Ishak with 8 was probably the best player. Captain Salah, who only got 3. So he's on the worst run of form since 2021, which is a pain in the ass. And then on game week 31, I managed to get 40 points on an average of 34. I think my saving grace here was Munoz, who got the 8. I went with the captain of Salah again, who did nothing. It was good to bring in Spence and finally getting some points out of Minte, who, did everything. Bringing in Mateta was a good 8. The main sub I made for this week was Pitch. And the disappointment was that I lost my points because I had 10 points for Flecken on my damn bench.
Did you just bring Spence in?
No, I've had Spence for a while. I just brought in Milinkovic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had to get...
Fair enough, yeah.
Then this week's obviously Christie going.
So you haven't made any trades yet?
No, not as of yet.
Okay.
I'm thinking this is going to have to be...
Just so you know, next week is the double round. The week after, there's some teams that have no games. So just be careful who you pick.
The manager.
For the manager, yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yep.
But why don't we jump into your fantasies?
Yep. Well, I got. So the first week I got 41. Was not happy with that. Yeah. There was only really Evan Nielsen, Ishak, and Semedo.
Evan Nielsen that week.
Anyway, who was on my bench anyway? No one. Yeah. Oh, Sells. That was the one that I was upset about. Because I had Henderson. They were playing Southampton. I'm thinking, they're definitely going to keep a clean sheet. It means I would have got Munoz and Henderson. Nah, they decided to concede a goal, which fucked my clean sheet. So, yeah, I only got 41. I mean, I still went up in something, apparently. But, yeah. Anyway, then this week that just passed, I bought in my mush thinking, mad, gets nothing because they did nothing. Luckily, I had Murphy in my team. He got me 16 points, which is nearly half of my fucking points.
Yeah, fundamentally, everyone else other than Munoz and Murphy got all your...
Exactly, yeah. But if we want to scroll down a little bit... look at that. Evan Nielsen on 13 points. And I'm thinking, who do I take out? Out of my attack, who do I take out? I'll take out Evan Nielsen, who gets the double. And not only that, I captained Son, who only plays 57 minutes against Southampton, does nothing.
Hey, I've captained Salah last 2 weeks. It's the worst run of form that Salah's had since 2021.
Really? Since 21?
Since 2021
Damn.
season, this is the worst run of form.
I thought I was being real smart by putting captaining Son. How wrong was I?
Yeah. These creative captains never come off, man.
Never
come off.
But I have, so if we just want to put it back up, I have actually made my trade this week.
Right.
So if we want to go to... pick team. That's it. So I've already changed my team around too. No, that's my. That is your team. Oh, that's okay. That doesn't matter. Look, I traded out. I traded out Tarkowski because they've got a fucking disgusting run of form at the moment. A disgusting run. They got like Chelsea and Arsenal and someone else. Like it's really, really bad. I traded him out for Livramento. So Livramento have Newcastle have a double game this week. So I've put Livramento in, and I've actually captained Ishak because they have the double game.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get more than 43 this week. I got 4 players with double games: Munoz, Livramento, Murphy, and Ishak. So hopefully I can get something.
Well, we'll see how we go this week, man, because there is some double games.
Yep.
See how we do it. The annoying thing, some of the double games, not against great teams.
Well, yeah, you've got Munoz against City and Newcastle away. That's
same as Mateta, same Shaq.
Yeah, I mean, like Man U at home, I think should be okay, but obviously that Crystal Palace game does kind of fuck up with our defenders.
100%.
Yeah, but no, it should be. We'll see how we go, and then Next week, Champions League.
Champions League. That's going to be the big one next week.
Fuck yeah.
So, well, until next week, man.
Till next week.
Peace out.
Bye.